rich people. Welcome back. I am so excited to be here speaking with you all again as we work through our journey to retirement together. So let's hop into it. Today, we are talking about designing your rich lifestyle. This is your life, and life is for the living. Retirement does not have to wait until you are retired. So, today, we're going to debunk some myths, talk through some mindset shifts that need to happen, work through designing your rich life in the life that you truly want to live. We're talking about living richly while building wealth. I want to first start off with the rich mindset. Sit down, take a moment, and think about, what does rich mean to you? What does living a rich lifestyle mean to you? You got some thoughts, you got some ideas floating around in your mind. Living rich in a rich lifestyle has some myths that come along with it. To me, living richly and richness in itself is a mindset. It's about your health, your wealth, your lifestyle. You have the experiences that you truly want, and it doesn't have to come with the price tag. We all know that living can be expensive, so there is some type of monetary exchange that happens regardless. Outside of that, there are a lot of things that come quote unquote for free that can mean that you are living a rich lifestyle all on its own. To me, that means the ability of have time to talk to my mom, the ability to wake up in the morning and not feel aches and pains, and the ability to wake up in the morning and see, even though I do wear corrective lenses, the ability to have shelter, the ability to have indoor plumbing, running water, hot water, the ability to have reliable transportation to get me to and from the areas that I want to go to, and to do that on my own time when I want to, the ability to make sure my vehicle continues to run. Like, some of those things, while there is a price tag attached to it, are also free in some aspects. There are things that embody a rich lifestyle that sometimes can be taken for granted. I am so grateful and so thankful for the little things in my life, because to me, those things do equate to richness. So think about what that looks like for you and how you can start to see the things that you may take for granted as something that is truly rich for you, because there are a lot of things that you may be taking for granted that somebody else is designing in their rich lifestyle. We want to get into is some of the myths that come along with designing and building your rich lifestyle. So, one myth that I would like to debunk here is that you have to choose between saving and living well. That is not true. You can have both. And to be quite frankly, in this rich lifestyle, we don't think of buts, we think of ands. I can have this and that. Why do you have to choose? Life is expansive. And that is one of the words that I wrote down 2 years ago when I started working through Ramit's journal here. I will teach you to be rich. And your rich lifestyle is not small. Your rich lifestyle is big. It's large, it's expansive, it takes up space. You do not have to choose between saving and living. You can have both at the same time. Crazy, I know, but you can have both at the same time. You can save and you can spend money intentionally and be living well. Our second thing that we want to debunk is luxury means expensive. No, that's not true. That is not true in totality. Luxury is an experience, it's ambiance. Luxury is not just the price tag onto something. To be quite honest, Things that are luxury are only that way because people think of them to be luxury. An experience is what you're looking for when you're thinking of luxury. It's not just the price tag, because quiet as it's kept, sometimes they could be getting you with the price tag. Just because it's expensive does not mean that something is luxury. For example, walk with me here. When you go to the spa or when you see the spa, it's ambiance, it's the mood, it's the lighting, it's the smell, it's the products, it's the texture of the products. Like, those things you can get at a cheaper price point and then put them in your home, and now you have a luxury experience in your home that reminds you of a luxury experience that you had. But it's not just the price tag. The last myth that I want to debunk here is you need to wait until retirement to enjoy life. What? No, you did not come here to work and go home, go to sleep, eat, and wake up and do it again. Life is for the living. You came here to enjoy life, and you can do that without having to wait until retirement. And it can be luxurious as well. Let's talk about some core concepts and principles of designing your rich lifestyle. You want to be intentional in your daily choices. As you start to think about your rich lifestyle and what your day-to-day looks like, you want to be intentional about what you're doing, where you're spending your time, and how you are interacting in the world. You want to have a good balance between present enjoyment and future wealth. So that way you can find the sweet spot between having both savings and living well, opposed to, oh, I just have to save and I can't spend my money on anything. That's not a part of our rich lifestyle. Our rich lifestyle encompasses both, not one or the other. We also want to make sure that authenticity is the main thing here. Authenticity in your definition of rich. So I've talked about kind of some things that I feel embody richness, but what does that look like for you, and being authentic at that, so that way you can design your lifestyle that aligns with what you truly want in your rich lifestyle. Before we get to our ideal day, I'm going to show you all something here. So let's take our piece of paper. And similar to a pro and con list, on one side, I want you to write down what my life looks like today. And then on the other side, you're writing down what my rich life looks like tomorrow. Now you can start to see some things that you're doing today that does not align with your rich life tomorrow. And what are some things that in your rich life tomorrow that you can also be doing today? So let's take a few minutes and do that. Pause if you need to. After we do that, we want to go to your rich day. And you want this to be a time block. And I suggest doing 2 of these. On the first one, in current state. When are you sleeping? When are you getting up? What are you doing in each hour? When are you going to work? When are you commuting to work? When are you at work? When are you leaving work? When are you eating? All the things that you're doing in the current day. And then you want to take a new sheet of paper and do all of that for your perfect rich life, your perfect day. What does that look like? This is truly eye-opening, because as I look at this list that I started filling this out 2 years ago. My perfect day looks very similar to the day today that I have now. Some things are not all the way there because we're still working on it. It's a work in progress. However, it looks very similar. And for me to have written this out 2 years ago, to have this now, truly eye-opening. Like, I really am making my way to living my rich life. It just makes me want to cry. Last but not least, we want to create a bucket list. You want to create your rich bucket list. I have a list of 15. And I'll just share some things with you. This was 2 years ago, and here we are. I have on here is to join a luxury travel group. I've done that, and I've gone on 3 trips, and I'm planning another trip with this group. So not only have I joined a group, but I'm actively planning trips and doing things with the group. That is why I honestly don't think Renee 2 years ago thought that this is what Renee 2 years later was going to be doing. I have on here go to Iceland. I planned a trip to Iceland, and I will be doing that before the year ends. Not only did I plan the trip, but pay for the trip too. So yeah, we did that. The next thing I have on here that I will share with you all is buy crypto. And I have almost $10,000 in crypto. And wow. One thing I wish I had wrote down was where my savings was 2 years ago. And honestly, I can kind of go back into Fidelity and look at where I was 2 years ago. But for me to have written this down means that I had very little and I wanted to see it grow, and it's grown. And then the last thing because I think it's important, I have on here have electric vehicle. However, what I've done instead is I've paid off my vehicle. And I think that is very important because 2 years ago, I did want an electric vehicle and I wanted to be more green. And I figured out that having an electric vehicle just didn't necessarily mean that I was going to be more green. And there was other ways that I can practice sustainability and work through my carbon footprint without having an electric vehicle. I also realized that I didn't necessarily want an electric vehicle. I just wanted to have this status symbol that I felt an electric vehicle provided, but that wasn't necessarily aligning with my rich life. And now not having a car payment today, Renee 2 years later feels like that is living richly. I wanted to share that last note on here because what you write down today may not be what your rich life looks like tomorrow. There are a lot of things that will align and there's some things that won't align, and that's okay because you're actively exploring and working through this process to get to your rich lifestyle. That's some things that you want to start to do to figure out the bare bones, the foundation of designing your rich lifestyle. What does your life look like today? What does your rich life look like tomorrow? What are some things that you have on your bucket list that you are doing in the rich life version of yourself? What are some things that you want to do? What are some things that you're planning to do? And then you also want to write down your day, hour by hour. Do you wake up at 5 a.m.? Are you a part of the 5 a.m. club? Are you a bit more slow and relaxed in how you get your day started? Do you wake up at noon? What are you doing throughout the day? Are you volunteering? Are you working? How long are you working? I read an article that AARP published about retirement and how so many people in retirement struggle because they don't know what to do with their time. And some of them feel like they should just go back to work because that's all that they know. That's all that they've done. It is very important that you figure out what your rich life looks like and what your life in retirement looks like. So that way you can actively start working on doing those things. It does not have to wait until retirement. Life is for the living. Life is for the here and the now. Retirement is not guaranteed to you. Tomorrow is not guaranteed to you. So living a life that you love, that is important. And that's important right now. Every day, wake up working towards the life that you truly want to live. So that way you are actively making strides and living the life that you truly love. And that is your rich lifestyle. You want to have a finance goal, an experience goal, a lifestyle achievement, and the quality of life metrics. Those are the 4 metrics so that way you know that you are on track to your rich lifestyle. So, a financial goal for me this year is my portfolio needs to be 500K because I know I'm on track to my $1.15 million portfolio to living my retirement, living my rich lifestyle. An experience goal for me is traveling and learning new things. As I travel, as I research new countries and new places to go to, planning out the travel that I'm going to go on, and then also the experience that I'm going to have in that area. Going to Iceland, I have going to Iceland and being in the lagoon, so going to the Blue Lagoon, but also to see the Northern Lights. Like, that's an experience that for some is one in a lifetime, and sometimes it's life changing. So that's an experience that I want to have. Another part of the metric is a lifestyle achievement. So when you're able to do something that before you weren't necessarily able to. For me, a part of my lifestyle achievement as I go through my retirement rich lifestyle journey, it was to pay off my car and not have a car note because I just did not want that bill that I had all the time that I constantly had to pay. Once I paid off my car note, then I started to look at things a little bit differently. Another lifestyle achievement that I had was to pay my insurance off by the policy. Every 6 months, I just pay it off. That to me was another lifestyle achievement that I was working on and that I've accomplished. And next, you want to have your quality of life metric. So the quality of life that you're living without all of the extra things. And to me, my next quality of life metric is around my health and making sure that I am truly healthy. Your health is priceless because it tremendously impacts your quality of life, and it is something that can be taken for granted. That's it. I hope this was helpful. Let me know. Drop in the comments something from your bucket list. I would love to see what you all are working towards achieving and what your rich lifestyle looks like, so that way we can work through building and going on this journey together. Until next time, I will see you all later. Bye, rich people.